All right, so what about this perfection stuff? Is it possible? And why does it matter? And I have a great big announcement to make about this beautiful thing behind me at the end of the show. So, yesterday I buried myself in the studio. In fact, I got up this morning. You can probably tell I'm unshaven. My hair is what it is. But I got up this morning and went in and I wanted to finish something. You'll notice that I said finished, but it's not perfect. Today we're going to talk about why done is better than perfect, why you need to get it out, get it finished, and get it shipped. And we're going to talk about what perfection is and why it can be so dangerous, especially for those of us with a bit of a scattered mind, some of that ADD, that squirrel sort of thing that so many, especially creatives, have. And there are a bunch of you that are extremely creative on this group. I appreciate you all. Yeah, I'm sorry, Summer, your computer may be being weird, but you know, this is the new reality we have. Excuse me. I'm a little stressed, as you can imagine. So what is perfect, and is there such a thing, and why does it matter? That's what we're going to talk about. One of the key things I learned quite a while ago is that done is way better than perfect. We're going to talk about that because what is perfect? Who decides what perfect is? Do you decide? Do the people that you're trying to do something for to decide? Is it some arbitrary body, some group, some Facebook troll? I post a lot of work and I often receive, I won't necessarily call it, yeah, it is criticism. I often receive comments saying, oh, you should have done this, or you should have done that, or why is it this, or why is it that? When I'm in my booth or at galleries, I often hear, why did you take a picture of that? Other people's vision of perfect is dangerous, but your own vision of perfect is even more dangerous still. When I work on an image or when a painter paints, when do you finish? A lot of my work involves post-processing, which means I get in. My friend Robert, who may or may not have found us back, he's what he calls himself a pixel peeper. He may very well move a single little speck, a little dot, one way or the other, until he gets his image to what he believes is perfect. That's his standard. It's the way he does it. I have kind of given up on perfect because I like done a lot better than perfect. But it's still very much causes me trouble. My friend Fred Choate, famous Fred Choate, you've probably seen him on NPR if you live around here. He does amazing landscapes, a lot of Satu stuff. He teaches. I'm not sure, he probably isn't teaching, but maybe he'll get back. He tells me that he usually stops about 10 minutes after his painting is done, meaning he overworks it. That's the problem with perfection. Another friend who was a trial lawyer had a kind of a completely different belief. He said a total lack of preparation is sometimes just enough. I like that one better. The wizards of Silicon Valley, well, they think that you should fail fast or you should move fast and break things. I don't know about that, but there is a certain, attraction to doing stuff good, crashing, going fast, breaking the internet, getting it back. It's kind of fun, but it's really hard to be perfect if you do that. So let me talk about, we often wait for that perfect moment, for the stars to be aligned. We wait until that everything is wonderful to ask that person something or to do something. Photographers wait for the perfect light or the perfect opportunity, or they go back and back and back when really maybe the first photograph they took was the right one. I have a great story. I drove by the trolley in Boise at the corner of, I think, Cascia and about Roosevelt. I must have driven by that 1,000 times every couple of days. And I kept thinking, well, I should take a picture of that. Well, I don't have the right camera. It's not quite exactly the right light. I should come by in the morning or the afternoon. Well, if you've lived here, you know the moral of this story. It burnt down. It's now the parking lot of a Maverick. So I never got a great photograph of the trolley, which is a fantastic little building, and I wish that I had that. I waited for it to be perfect, and I lost that opportunity. That's what I'm talking about here. Perfect is the enemy of good, the enemy of great, the enemy of finished. Let's throw this one up here. Zig says, as long as it's good enough for the government, it's done. I like that, Zig. Very, very true. Oh, my phone's rattling. Somebody's probably trying to send me a message. Oh, well. AT&T told me this morning that I've used up all of my gigabytes, so I'm now into the extra period. So it's, what the hell. So if you wait for that perfect moment, if you wait for the thing to be finished, if you wait for the conversation to be absolutely wonderful, you may very well lose an opportunity. And Rose Hill and Roosevelt, thank you, B. And let me throw this one up here. Isn't this true? Look at what Nancy says. No such thing as perfect. If you waited for something to be perfect, you'd never get a darn thing done. And that's exactly what we're talking about. If you wait for perfect, you may very well just not. Yes, Nancy, the trolley is gone. It's a Maverick now. So, if you wait, you may very well miss the opportunity. You need to remember the difference between right and perfect. They are not the same thing. I'm not talking about just getting by or doing barely enough or squeaking through or, giving it a half-assed effort. I'm talking about when it's right and when it's finished and you go, well, maybe I could do this or maybe I should do that. Or if I worked on this just a little more, it leads to stress, it leads to procrastination, and quite frankly, it leads to just not finishing. That one small difference. It may not mean a thing to the person you're trying to deliver it to your customer, or to yourself. I'm having a hard time finishing my book because I want it to be so good. But it probably means that I need to get it down and get to it, get it finished, because I have people waiting for it. Some of you are like, oh, I would buy it right now if it was finished. Well, it's not really close to finished. So one of the examples I thought of this morning is I often put something on the wall. And when it's on the wall and somebody walks up and says, oh, I love that, they take it. That's great. Whatever the imperfections are, I'm going to hopefully maybe show you this piece behind me. There are lots of imperfections. In fact, I work imperfections into it. It's part of my process. If they buy this, if they take it off the wall, but I often have someone say, I want a custom piece and this is what I want, and I will work myself to death to get it perfect. Although perfect is not my style. A little funk, a little uniqueness is part of what I do. I've kind of leveraged my lack of perfection to do that. Perfection is the enemy of great. Having the courage to be imperfect is very, very important. You have to embrace your flaws. I have a lot of them. If you watch this show, you know that I am full of little mishaps. It's just the way my life works. Part of it is I'm dyslexic. I have a disconnect between what I see and what lands in my brain. Makes it really difficult for math and English. I cannot spell the word perfect. Fortunately, Grammarly tells it to me, but every time I typed the word perfect today, in fact, including into the show notes, it was wrong. Now, most people would make that mistake a couple of times. I see the word incorrectly. Perspective is just perfection is just perspective, B says. Boy, isn't that true. And it's our perfection. It's our perception. And that's what I'm talking about trying to fight today. Trying to move past being perfect and getting it done. You have to have the courage to be imperfect. It's hard. To achieve perfection will almost always lead to failure. You'll fail to deliver it on time. You'll fail to finish it at all, which is the worst problem. I'm beginning to wonder if maybe this damn book is not that. Somebody really wants to get a hold of me on my phone. Since you can't be perfect, you have a tendency to stall and procrastinate. Here's the best thing about getting it finished, as getting it done. You can always go back and rework it. Maybe you can get it closer to your vision of perfection. How cool is that? You have the opportunity, but you can't do that until you finish it, so you can't go back, obviously. You'll just keep messing with it, keep tweaking it around. Being perfect is hard and it will lead to stress. Get it done, get it shipped, get it out, get it going, get it moving to what you need to do. Remember that done is better than perfect. Getting it done means you can move on, you can shift your focus to the next idea or the next plan. All right, folks, if I'm lucky, I'm going to be able to unplug. Let's see here. I don't know how to do this. Let's try this. I'm going to try this, and it's going to hopefully record it. Oh, there we go. All right. I have an iMessage from somebody that I don't know. There's a shock. Okay, I'm going to switch this to camera. Maybe. All right, hang on. Let's just take this off here. So what I want to do here is I want to show you this piece of work I have done. Of course, I had this great plan, and it's not working the way I expected it to. But I told you that I have an announcement. I have the opportunity to hang this piece, this beautiful horse, I think I call it Family. I don't know, I really need a great name. If anybody has a great name for it, let me know. It's going to hang in the Finer Frames Gallery in Eagle, Idaho. My friend Meg Glasgow, who comes in and out here, saw it online, and I went out there to buy. I bought a piece of charity work last week, and I was able, I'm working things around here. I was able to talk to her about this piece, and it's going to hang in a gallery, and I think that is a great example. Is it perfect? No, but let me turn it around here. Let's see here. Dun, dun, dun. All right, here we go. Look at that in all of its glory. Am I still? Yeah, I am still getting. So, talk about perfect. Notice that involved in this, there is texture. The edges are a little bit wonky, although they're not. They're absolutely wonderful. And look at how fantastic it is. I'm so happy. I believe that this may very well be the best combination of photograph and presentation I've ever done. And it's going to be in a gallery in Eagle. Yes. I still have a couple of tweaks to do, but it is pretty close to finished. Whoa! Doing this two-handed is not working. Hey, that tech worked pretty well. All right, my friends. So today, fight that vision of perfection. Get it done. Get her done. Engage. It's David Day. I'll be back tomorrow. I so much appreciate you all. If you would like to subscribe to go and get this, I'll upload it to YouTube. Takes about 45 minutes before it actually clicks in. And, of course, I'll answer all of your questions. This is a good day. Enjoy it. I'll see you tomorrow.